What's up, wrestling fans? Welcome to episode 149 of Smack Talk, coming to you from smarkoutmoment.com. You know the score by now. I'm your host, as always, Tony Mango, and with me on the panel this evening, we have the typical guys on the mic. We have Drew White.
Typical Drew White, may I add.
Typical response from Drew White.
Typical life by Drew White.
We have Steven Wego.
Right.
Miguel Leon.
I was gonna do the Barrett impersonation, but whatever.
And Mike Payton. Were you going to do the bell?
No, I finally get it. I ate some Cheez-Its.
Do you have some Mountain Dew?
Tonight on the show, we have a main event of Night of Champions 2014 predictions. We've also got the usual stuff, the hot tags coming up in part 2. We've got some Fantasy League trades and updates that I'm sure are going to happen in the final segment of tonight. Little break with the rest hold, and we're on part 1 right now. You guys know the score for that as well. It's time for the wrestling trivia question of the week, otherwise known as the Ask Him. So let's backtrack. Last week's Ask Him was about the European Championship because we did a special edition of Tap Out on whether or not the European title sucks. It seems like most people disagreed with me and they say that it's pretty decent. So, hey, I lost. Oh well, don't give a shit. So the two questions that we had were about the European title, and they were who held the European Championship the longest. That was to the panel, British Bulldog, 253 days. And the question to the audience was who held the European title the shortest, and that was Rob Van Dam, 0 days, because he unified the title. So that was the Tony question right there. Let's see who got it right, who got it wrong here. We've got Mauro Supremo, Rob Van Dam. Ding, 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 you got that right. Or perhaps I should have passed that on to Steven for that. There you go. Rose the Show says, I know nothing about the Euro title, so I will just think of Rob Van Dam because Tony doesn't like him very much. There you go. You got that little thing right. And Watchman King 67 says Y2J, but Hardy was the last, so it could be him, but I'm going with the Jericho. Why the Jericho hate? No Jericho hate. It was Rob Van Dam, so you got it wrong, Watchman King.
Man, I need a fart effect.
Fart effect?
Yeah, from getting it wrong.
Sure, alright, why not?
We'll just play the NPR post show intro.
Yeah. Maybe you should get a fart bell too. And I'll just go into horrible different realms.
They do have fart guns, may I add.
Do they have fart bells? I might actually have to invest in one of those.
Well, it's a gun. Like Big Show's gun, but it farts.
So this week's question for the panel here, I figured for these two questions I'd tie them into just championships in general that we don't really talk about because it is Night of Champions after all, and we've been trying to get a bunch of questions that are about titles and belts and stuff. So for you guys here, who is the two-time WWF World Martial Arts Heavyweight Champion that held the title for a combined reign of 4,001 days?
Simon Dean.
Japanese guy.
Partial credit, right? He is a Japanese guy.
Simon Dean partial?
No, not at all.
No, okay. Is it Yokozuna?
Is it Kenta?
Nope.
Is it
Nor
Kenta
is
Kobayashi?
Kung Fu Kenta.
Is it that Inoki guy?
Yeah, Antonio Inoki.
Well, Tanaka
What's
is
the difference between him
Indian.
and Kenta?
One of them's Kung Fu. The other one's just generic martial arts.
Is it the Karate Kid?
Kung Fu is just generic martial arts.
No, it's a specific.
No, there's a bunch of ones that are specific that are make up.
So is it Jayden Smith?
Wait, Kung Fu isn't like jujitsu? Like it's a specific term?
Jiu-Jitsu is a specific kind of Kung Fu.
Anyway, Antonio Inoki.
Don't confuse him, Peyton.
But well, the next one is what are the different types of Kung Fu? No, the question to the audience is another one about a championship that's pretty obscure. And this is, I don't know, depending on your history and your knowledge of old WWF, might be an easy one, might be a really hard one. I didn't know this shit, so we'll see how your mileage varies. Who was the only WWF Canadian champion in history? If you think you know the answer to that, leave a comment below on YouTube or send a tweet at SmarkOutMoment with the hashtag AskHim. And on the next episode, we'll tell you who got that right, who got it wrong, what different forms of Kung Fu are out there, and anything else that we need to pass your way. Next up in part 2, we're going to talk about the hot tags of the week. So click on that next video if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're on iTunes and Stitcher, just stay tuned, and this show will continue.